Hello everyone, my name is Siddharth Bhardwaj, and today we are going to start my free course of digital marketing. Uh, it will be all about all the elements of digital marketing that we'll be covering, and we'll be also touching upon the elements which come before digital marketing and post digital marketing. Digital marketing for me is just an extension of the marketing strategy that has already been created for the product, and that is how we do it. So my free course will definitely give you an overview of what are the first of all, what is digital marketing, what are the pillars in digital marketing, and I'll try to touch upon each and every aspect of digital marketing in my free course, so that you can have an understanding and an overall bird view. So without wasting any more time, let's start. So what we will be covering in this lesson is what is digital marketing, what is digital marketing relevant now versus past, who can learn digital marketing, and is it for you, the job scenarios of digital marketing in India. Apart from jobs, what else can you do in digital marketing? How can small businesses and services take advantage of digital marketing? And what will we cover in the free course overall? A little bit about me. My name is Siddharth Bhardwaj, and I have been in this industry for almost 10 years now. As I have been learning on the go, I realized that there are a lot of institutes and there are a lot of colleges which are teaching digital marketing, but somewhere that quality is being compromised. And I've taken this initiative so that at least I try to give that quality input so that you guys who are planning to go into digital marketing or who plan to be a digital marketer in the future, this course can be a stepping stone to start with. Before that, just putting in my credentials so that you have an understanding who I am and for from what background I am coming in. So a little bit about me. I graduated from St. Xavier's College. I was also a part of ISEC. I've done my BCom honors from St. Xavier's College in 2005. Then I did my post graduation from IBS Hyderabad in 2008. I got placed in my first company, which is HDFC Bank, as a marketing manager in 2010. During my tenure in HDFC Bank, I got interested in learning about digital marketing and also realized that that is something which where my forte lies. Then I joined Shriram as a brand and digital head, where my broad job role was to handle all the brands under Shriram and also look into what are the ways where we can capitalize on digital and make digital as one of the verticals to have an ROI overall. I got to be in the space where I could really experiment with all the skills that I've learned in my course. In 2016, I was the partner in the company called 4D Network. This company is based out of Malaysia. I started the Indian operations and we had some really good clients, right from Shalimar Oil to a lot of Malaysian clients. Then I moved to Wonderman Thompson, which is one of the biggest advertising firms in India. Wonderman has acquired Hangama Digital, and I was like a bridge between them. I was acting as a senior client servicing in Wonderman Thompson and was handling clients and pitching them on and off for digital products. My biggest client inside Wonderman Thompson was Abibus and Britannia, where I really had the opportunity to interact and operate with big clients. And currently, I stand in Dr. Reddy's as a digital business partner. My KRA here is I'm a digital strategist where for Pan India, and my job is to create digital strategy for all the brands of Dr. Reddy's. I believe in the layer of becoming a digital marketer. Uh, I have never looked at money as my primary aspect. I've always looked at the experience that I'll be gaining out, and I really wanted to experiment with all the layers of digital marketing. So if you see my role, I have never ever repeated a role from marketing to branding to being on the operation side to servicing clients and now a strategist. Somewhere I'm trying to cover all the layers so that at a given point of time, I really want to be at a position where I can give a strategy which would be holistic for the brand, and I would be touching all the aspects of that. Moving on. So let's start with a basic definition of what is digital marketing. Uh, According to me, digital marketing refers to advertising, delivered through digital channels such as search engines, social media, paid media, emails, etc. Using these online media channels, digital marketing is the method by which company endorses goods and services to gain engagement and ROI. So this is just a broad definition to make you understand that which space digital marketing line. It's not isolated. It's very much integrated with your offline marketing strategy. For me, digital marketing is just an extension to marketing, and it can't be isolated as such. Moving to the next point, why is digital marketing relevant now versus past? Definitely, from an overall industry perspective, also digital has been growing very steadily. We are almost seeing a 27% growth on a year-on-year level. Ad industry is growing at 11%, so this is almost at a 3x. So you can see in 19, 22, 25, we are almost looking at a percentage contribution of 30%, which it stands right now. It will go up to 44% or maybe more by 2025. That means 50% of your ad budget will come from digital, right? On your right hand side, this is the media ad spends, which has again been forecast. We stand in currently 2020, 2021, where we see that this orange space is the digital and rest of the spaces is television, print, radio, cinema, OOH. And we see that it has already gained momentum from 12% to 30%. And this is going to grow further. This is going to grow to up to 50 to 55%, and all the rest of the channels will go down. Let's dive in to see why is this industry gaining momentum and what are the things that are really shaping the industry. So for me, believe the consumer behavior is the biggest reason for which the digital industry is coming uh, into the main frame of marketing, and people are now taking digital seriously. So as you see in your first graph, is this is the US advertising media, but the objective is to show you that from 2018 to 2022, these are the various uh, marketing channels that are available, and all the channels are gradually losing momentum, whereas internet is gaining momentum by notches. TV is also gaining, but at a very slow rate, whereas all the rest, which is newspaper, out of home, trade magazine, cinemas, all has gone down, right? All the offline are not that steadily in terms of growth, but yes, it is still there, very much in the picture. The reason for this is the time being spent. Initially, my 2000, uh, during the year of 2000 and all, we used to see that people are spending time on television, people are spending time on seeing hoardings, pamphlets, brochures, and so on. But now the time has been captured by your internet. Almost 31 minutes to 1 hour is a 16 to 18%. More than 1 hour is almost 31%. On an average, if I would say, 3 to 4 hours every day is being spent on the internet. Where is it being spent? So, of the total 650 million users, we are seeing that almost 400 million are into chatting and social media, 330 million are into video content, 200 million are into service transactions like GoIbibo, Book My Show, and so on, and 105 million are into product transactions. Currently, coming from the lens of Amazon and all the other e-commerce websites. So, according to this frame, maximum time space that can be taken is from these two elements, right? Which is social media and video content. Let's dive deep into these two aspects. How is industry tapping into the consumer world? So let's see what are the customer occasions that give us an opportunity to jump into their arena or to buy time into the spaces where they are already there, right? From the frequency level, you will see that the red are the high ones and the gray are the low ones. So in the high ones, we see in the social aspect, instant messaging, social network, video, music, search engines are the places where we can engage with these set of users at the highest level, and then it is gaming, map, and shopping, which is the second highest. So these are the most interactive places where brands and users meet, and these are the places where you can take advantage of it, right? There's also cross occasional services where payments and financial services also give us some opportunity. So currently, where does the industry stand? Let's look at the industry behavior. So as you see in your first graph is that China leads in terms of having the highest number of internet users, which is accounting to almost 63% of the population. Then comes India, which is accounting to almost 55% of the population. United States, which is currently accounting to 96% of the population. Let's focus on these three, and you will realize that India is still having a potential of 45% more to gain and still stands at rank 2, which clearly states that why a big giants like Microsoft, Facebook, Amazon betting big in India, because they know that irrespective the penetration is high, there is a use space which can be really explored. Which is the biggest channels that are bringing the internet users? Obviously, Facebook, YouTube, WhatsApp, Facebook Messengers are the top contributors here. And from online ads, what we see that these are the industries that are there. These are the traditional ad spends, which is the offline ad spends, and these are the digital ad spends. Of the total 50,000 crores, 9,000 crores are being spent on digital, which is almost a 20% for me. Whereas you will see the highest percentage is coming from e-commerce, telecom, BFSI, and travel, where they are spending, where the spending from the industry has been the maximum, right? So this is the industry behavior. So we see that industry is really giving good weightage to digital marketing from effectiveness, from yes, that is the good change and everything versus traditional marketing, but still the industry is really struggling to adapt, irrespective of cost effectiveness, time effectiveness, good reach, quality reach, and everything. The reasons what which I identified was that the confidence in the new digital method is really low with the industry right now. Currently, they stand at 20% as spends, which will go up gradually. The less quality talent pool available. As I told you, there are a lot of digital marketers in the field, but the kind of quality they're bringing on the table is not that great, and that can only be polished or modified once you get trained or mentored, which can really give quality advice, quality training, quality mentoring, and make sure that you are in that space of that quality pool. So there is a mismatch in terms of the demand and supply over here. The process is not evolving at the pace at which I thought of. It is growing at a very gradual pace. HR needs to be more agile to understand how is the digital process, because there is a way a process needs to be developed the way offline has, right? Offline has a branding, a budgeting, a measurement process and everything, whereas digital is evolving, and the industry needs to adapt quickly to make use of it as we move forward. So who can really learn digital marketing, and is it really for you? Will be your next thought, for which I would like to say that anyone who is into marketing and sales professionals doing business of selling products or services, are into startups, or students who are into colleges and plan to take up marketing in future, or people who are also into advertising. These are the places where you will gain the maximum from me. So the job work scenario, as I told you, there is a big mismatch. If you see on the right hand side, the digital marketing jobs are in plenty: 18,000, 1,000, 11,000, 9,000. The jobs are in plenty. Whereas the demand is actually exceeding supply for jobs in digital marketing and AI. The reason is due to the growing demand in digital, the demand is very high, but institutes are very less to give quality course training. Hence, the demand supply mismatch. So, rest be assured, once you become a digital marketer, job is there. You will. There are a lot of other things that apart from the job you can do in digital marketing. It's very easy to start an agency because there are a lot of small startups, small companies that are there in the market to which the big agencies don't cater to. And you are the one who can pitch in. You can be a freelancer also there, and start with 1 to 2 agencies. My personal suggestion: start free, uh, always to test the waters and then make it big. Same is with the consultancy, that you can charge for creating the strategies and charge your product project wise. You can be into e-commerce space where you can start your own store, or you can help others start their own store and be partner to them from the lens of marketing and doing digitization as much as possible. You can become a blogger if you really like writing, or if you really find people who around you are good bloggers. You can help them blog, market that blog of doing affiliation marketing. You can use third party products and a lot of things you can do inside blogging to start your earning process, right? Inside others, become a niche blogger, you can become an influencer, you can become an affiliated marketer, you can start your own YouTube channel, and there are a lot of opportunities that are available for you to explore. How can small companies who are selling products or services really leverage digital marketing? I have heard these queries ample number of times, and I really want to tell you that a lot of places you really don't require people. What you need to do is spend some time understanding and learning these basics so that you can start on your own. So, what these small companies who are selling products or services can leverage from digital marketing, they can create their own website. Please be rest assured, making website is really easy. And in this free course, I'll take you through step by step how to do it, and you can start right there and there. You can list your own products on e-commerce and sell, which does not involve any cost. You can hire an influencer and promote your products or services as low. The influencer costing start as low as 10,000. You can create a social presence. You can create social media pages, Instagram pages to create awareness, to email marketing, to capture leads, and to do a lot of things. You can analyze your traffic and customize your product. Once you have a website and the social media, a lot of analytics will start flowing in, right? So you will get a lot of insight about the audience, and once you get that insight, you can really change the product if there is a requirement to do it, and customize it as per the demand of the audience that are really coming to the website. We can also create FB stores, Insta stores to sell. We can do geo targeting to maximize offline sales. This is really popular in my company at least, where I always, in my strategy, I always plug this thing in. If the product is something like a Sherwani or a real estate, people really like to visit, right? So lead generation for me is a conversion. So there I capture lead only for those places where the property is being built. So I can do a geo targeting of 10 kilometers and maximize the reach and provide leads accordingly. And those leads will be really quality compared to the random leads which we get. You can become an affiliate marketer and you can sell more. Affiliate marketing is really next big thing which you might not be aware of now, but as we move forward, I'll explain you that. I've just listed 8 elements here. There are a lot of other elements. These are the 8 which came top of my in on top of my mind record. But there are many more things that small industries or small companies of 5 to 6 employees companies can really do to expand. Things that we'll be covering in our digital marketing course. I'll be touching upon each and every digital marketing element, right from your digital pillars of how to use those digital pillars inside your career, inside your business, inside your profession, whatever you are into. And we'll also cover how it will benefit the working professionals and business class on an holistic level. And we will also give you a heads up of how to start and use all the tools and everything that I'm showing you to use practically inside your business, inside your professional career. Thank you.